Hey guys, sorry it's been a few days since we've made a video. Let's see, the last we left you, we were waiting for the bridge to open in New Orleans. I think this was Thursday night. So it finally opened just before dark. We made it through, and we were headed to our marina, which was only a couple miles from the bridge. But it was a terrible docking experience. We had wind blowing from the wrong direction, trying to put it in a little bitty spot.
We even had help, and
yeah,
they
even
were
had
like,
help on the dock, and it was just like not happening.
Yeah.
After about 20 minutes of that frustration, we pulled around to the fuel dock and just docked for the night. So we were docked and safe, but no power, so we had to run the generator for that Thursday night. So anyway,
which was okay.
It's not the end of the world, but it was okay. And so then, based on that, we were like, hey, you know what? This weather's coming in Friday afternoon, about 1 or 2 o'clock. Let's make a run across to, I think we're actually headed to Pass Christian at that point. It's only about 40 miles. I said, let's just get up in the morning, get across there and go.
Yeah, and anybody that knows John and I knows anytime we go visit family or anytime we do anything, we get up at the crack of dawn and we get there. So we still had that same mentality as let's get up early and let's head out. And that's not what you do in boat life, which we found out.
Well, so anyway, we left, I don't know, 6:30
early
on Friday morning, headed out, and we actually went out into Lake Pontchartrain. So about 20 miles across the lake on the basically the west side of it, going from south to north, and we get a.
Wait, can I cut in?
Sure.
When we left out of our marina or wherever we were parked, we radioed the bridge for them to open the bridge, and we asked, was the next bridge going to be open? And they said, let me check. And they came back and said, yes, somebody will be there. They'll have it manned. You'll just need to tell them, because I had a little alert that said there was work being done, but this bridge person confirmed there would be somebody there. So
okay. So yeah, so if you can imagine, there's a railroad bridge when we're going into Lake Pontchartrain, and there's another railroad over there coming out of Lake Pontchartrain. Anybody who's driven through there is right by Highway 11. So anyway, so we run the 20 miles or so across Lake Pontchartrain, and it's
awful.
It's a little rough, not too bad, a little rough right there.
Lots of crab pods along the way.
It was definitely having to dodge a lot of crab pots out there in the lake.
In the waves.
So we get over to this next bridge, and it's closed, of course. It's a railway bridge, and then right beside it is a road bridge on Highway 11. So we call and we get in touch with, on the radio, the road bridge, and it's a lady, and she says, hey, those railroad guys go to lunch at like noon, and so usually the bridge is open from noon to 1. Other than that, you're out of luck.
And we're doing this, and the water is
the water's
not
really rough, and so we're kind of hanging there, like we're going to have to go find somewhere to tie up and wait for that, because this is only like 8:30 in the morning or something. We're like, oh my gosh, that's going to be terrible. And then the weather's going to catch us. So we're like, okay. And as we're about to turn around to go the other way, I guess the railroad guys felt sorry for us, took their little boat over there, and they actually opened the bridge for us. And she said, hey, they're opening that bridge, I'll open the road bridge. So both bridges opened, and we went right through, that was pretty fortunate. However, when we get on the other side of it,
got worse.
The weather started to deteriorate, and it started to get worse, and the waves got larger. And anyway, so we're headed across there. I think it's basically the Wrigglettes, the Wrigley's or whatever. And then we're getting into the north part of Lake Bjorn. And so we're driving across there, and we go for about an hour of going maybe 10, 13 miles an hour, something, trying to make waves. And it gets rougher and rougher. And so instead of these 2-foot waves, we're having like 5- and 6-foot waves. Everything in the boat starts to just scatter everywhere.
Including me.
Including Anita. I'm holding on to the steering wheel driving. I'm like, okay, we can bear through this till we get to Pass Christian.
Let me try to draw a picture of this. John is at the wheel. He's holding on to the wheel, and his legs are spread as far as he can spread them, and he's holding tight. And I'm down here with the rest of the stuff in the boat, like flopping around everywhere. And if this doesn't say enough, this is my Stanley. Like, my Stanley got damaged in the whole ordeal also. Like, it doesn't even have a handle. And I came down here one time, and the wine chiller had opened, and all of our wine bottles were rolling around on the floor. The top of the counter came off and was in the floor. He had no idea what was going on. He was like, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I fell 2 times and hurt my back. And so I was like, I'm done. We can't do this.
She got in panic mode, right?
I totally did a death video for family. I got our ditch bag out. I'll show you. I'll do a short video that shows you the water coming in the back. I pulled up we have a little opening on the bottom of the floor where you can open up to see in the engine room. And so I pulled it. It's super heavy, but I pulled it up twice to look to see if we were flooding, which there was water everywhere, but our bilge pumps were working like they were supposed to. And I think that's what hurt my back. Well, that, and then I fell on a wire rack. So I was like, John, we've got to get out of this water. And at one point I was talking to a marina, and we did like this side roll, and I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. So I went up and told him we've got to go. I've talked to a marina. So you want to tell about this part?
Okay, so I mean, she's got her life jacket on.
My
she's
offshore
got
life
ditch
jacket.
Back ready. She's ready to go. She's like, where this thing is going down.
Y'all, water was coming over the boat. Like, we were in 5 to 8 foot waves. The water's coming over the boat. Our lights were dripping water. It was so bad.
When we got done, there was water dripping on the ceiling, so I knew it was pretty bad. So anyway, so I was like, okay, fine, we won't get there. Well, let's get out of here. So I basically turned towards shore because she was panicking, and we were about, I don't know, 3 or 4, not far out, 3 miles, 4 miles, something. And so once we turned towards shore and started going, it got better, right? So we got in there, and we're looking for a place just to get out of the storm, right? And I'm like, okay, but the storm is coming. It's going to get worse. So we pull up in this little creek, and we try to, and it's really near where the Pearl River dumps in. And so we're like going to try to anchor in there. And it's, it's 7, 8 foot deep, so it's not terrible. And so we put the anchor down, but the wind's blowing really hard.
Yeah, the boat still goes, the anchor's
the boat's still sliding. And so there's another railroad bridge over there. So I get that guy on the radio, and I say, hey, is anywhere else we can anchor that might be safe? He says, well, I'm not really from around here. I don't know too much. But he said, I think there's a marina up that creek. So we start looking, and sure enough, there is a marina up that creek. So we're like, okay, let's see if we can get up this creek. And so it's a lot calmer in this creek, if you can imagine, right side of the big waves. And so we start easing through there, and it winds for maybe 3 or 4 miles up in here, and we're going really slow, and it's really shallow.
I'm dying, y'all. My back is killing me. I smashed my finger in the door,
yeah,
she's
a mess, right? She's coming off of that. So anyway, we wind our way up in there, and I actually call the marina. It's basically an RV park, but they have
fishing. It's a fishing marina, little fishing boats.
And so we get up in there, and I call, and I get this lady on the phone. She said, well, I'm not there. I'm in Memphis. She said, but my husband's there, and I'll tell him you're coming. And I was like, well, tell me where's, we can maybe pull a boat in.
Like, we're not coming, we're here.
And so she gives me some advice, whatever, and we pull around there, and we actually find a place to pull a boat in, and he sees us, and he comes around. He helps us tie off, and we're in basically 2 feet of water, maybe a little less. And he's like, how'd you come in from that direction? It's really shallow.
Which we later found out that the water had
it was blowing in and out of the south. So
yeah, and so
they had
a 2 foot rise, which is what helped us to get in.
The way we got in there, actually.
So keep in mind, I'm already stressed because of being flopping around in the boat like a fish, and then we're gonna have to spend some time in this marina.
It's kind of a fish camp.
So I can recover, but the whole time I have in my head, how are we ever gonna get out of here? Because there's no way we should have gotten in here. So
she's worried about that. Me, not so much. But anyway.
Diddy.
So anyway, this is Friday about, I don't know, noon time or whatever. Yeah. So we're at this place. We're tied up to a place that's safe, but we have no power. So we're running the generator until we leave. And she's like, her back's bothering her.
Almost full.
And so, but the people are really nice. The guy's name is
really nice.
Quitman Cates, and it's at La France Fish Camp Marina RV Park. This gentleman was really, really nice to us, very hospitable, helped us
good Christian
every
man.
way he could. I think he would actually, as an example, he substituted for his preacher on Sunday. The preacher called him, said he was ill or whatever, wasn't feeling good, and this guy preached a sermon just off.
And then he came to help us.
And then he came to help us after that. So anyway,
good guy.
So this is Friday afternoon. He's like, stay as long as you need, whatever. There's water here. No power for us because they don't have that kind of hookup. But anyway, so we're there. And so on Saturday, Anita's just...
I didn't see him for like 3 days because I was on pain medicine and sleeping.
Yeah, so we're giving her stuff for her back, and she's just laying down, trying to rest. And I'm like trying to clean up the anchor system, clean up the boat, trying to wash down some of the salt water that had been everywhere, right? Cleaning all that stuff up. So anyway...
he was like, hey, there's like salt crystals on the furniture upstairs. I was like... Yeah, the whole boat was soaked.
Inside, I don't know how
we
that
have
stuff
cover
got salt
everywhere,
on it,
but I was soaked from head to toe. Like,
so we really didn't try to go anywhere on Saturday. We just try to let her recuperate. Said maybe if you're better tomorrow. So it looked like
He did say at one point, do I need to put you on an airplane and send you home? And I think at that point I started crying. Like, we don't have a home. This is our home.
So she said, oh, that won't work. So anyway.
I said, I'm this close to having you send me to my mom and calling Brian to see if he will drive you back with the boat. It was awful.
So anyway, that was Saturday. And so on Sunday, she started to get a little bit better. She had some nausea and that kind of stuff, but I think that was Saturday night.
That's from not eating 3 days.
Yeah, so but we had some medicine for that, and so she kind of went to sleep and woke up and was doing better. And it looked like there was a window for us to leave on Sunday to get over to Gulfport between like maybe noon, 1 o'clock, something.
Yeah, and we confirmed that with Brian because we're learning.
So we instead of looking at one forecast, we now look at like 8 different ones so we can have kind of a good comparison, kind of the Rob Hare method of weather forecasting. But anyway, that's for you, Rob. So anyway, on Sunday we get ready to go and everything, and I go to turn the key on the starboard engine. He goes, click, nothing. So similar to that problem we had when we were in Homa. Same engine, same click. So I said, well, maybe that wire's is loose again. So I get down there and I move it around. It was a little bit loose, and so I talked to Robert and I figured out how to squeeze over in there, and it's really working all left-handed. Got it tightened down, still nothing. Then after church, this was on Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. My equipment came over, and he was trying to help me, and so we got his jumper cables out, and we tried to jump it from one engine to the other. He brought his truck over. We tried to jump it from his truck to my battery, thinking maybe that was it. Nothing would work. And then still getting the fault on the computer. I was like, okay, we did everything we could to leave today. We're going to stay one more day. So we just said, and I tried to call a couple mechanics, and they were all closed on Sunday, obviously, and open up on Monday, which was this morning. So
y'all can imagine that the whole time that I was laid out in bed, when I was awake, I was adding apps on my phone for just weather forecast and different marine type of weather programs, and I paid $129 for one for a year. I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to know the weather before we do this again. So I found a window of opportunity on Monday, which was, is today Monday?
Today. Yeah.
Today. And so we found a mechanic, and the mechanic came out this morning. Gosh, it's all messed up.
We called him this morning, and they sent somebody out within an hour or so.
Yes, very nice young man came out, and he worked on it, and it was the starter that was out and a switch. And so $1,700 later, they fixed the starter, and we came over to Gulfport, and they're going to fix the switch. But obviously we made it out of that marina okay. We didn't hit any rocks like we thought we were. So that was good. And then John ran it at 20. So we burned some fuel, the last of what we had in the tank. We burned that. We came into this marina in Gulfport. It's a Gulfport Municipal Marina. And it has been incredible. When we got here the young lady, her name's Michaela, came out and grabbed the lines, tied us up, helped us fill up, and then she told us, you have your choice of this spot or this spot, and we got our spot, and she met us over here and helped us tie up, and we did a pump out, yay! Our black tank's empty, and then we went and ate.
Yeah, then we went and had a really nice dinner, nice relaxing dinner, and the next thing is to actually wash clothes, since it's been about 11 days since we've washed clothes, so we're down to like the low end of some things. So anyway, nice comfortable marina, and tomorrow the guy's going to come put the switch in for us. Chris is his name.
Finish it out.
And finish that out. And depending on what time that happens, we'll either go to Orange Beach tomorrow, or if it we'll go the next day, depending on
the
whether
weather.
Tomorrow's a boat clean or what the weather looks like.
We're going to check our apps and we're going to look at the weather, and we'll see when we're going to leave. But I know that I've had several people tell me, show us the bad with the good. We have our families on here, and it's probably not a good idea to show some of the bad at the moment, because we were in I was in a dark headspace with that. My little we're going down video was kind of tough. So we'll try to keep this lighthearted, and I don't know, maybe we'll show some of the bad, but I'll do some shorts that kind of show the water that was coming in, because I did do some little videos to show John, because he's in the bridge. He obviously can't see what's going on in the bottom, although I'm telling him, but it looked a whole lot different than it sounded. So anyway, I'll put those out there so anybody wants to watch that. But so just so you know, the reason we don't show the bad in the moment is because our mommies watch this video. So
anyway. All right, talk to you guys later.